Hello and welcome. Welcome to Drakenmemoria. Yay! We started. So much has gone wrong during the week. I keep wanting to say as well, at least that didn't happen, but I'm not, because I don't want it to happen. So,
Amigo.
well, there are some things that I wouldn't mind happening because it would affect everyone and no one would be stuck with a problem smaller than ours. Thank goodness the apocalypse didn't start.
I'm sure there's like a small fraction of the human populace. It's like, finally.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But they're probably not
It's
watching us, so I don't mind.
like, they've had their end of the world bunker loaded and ready to go. It's like ready to tell all the naysayers who's laughing now.
Told you the apocalypse would come. You are aware that the atmosphere is going to be stripped by a meteorite. Yeah? Okay, good luck.
Like, doesn't matter. I was right.
Alright, so. If you're watching this on Wednesday, you're watching this live. If you're watching this on Friday, it's a rebroadcast. Don't worry, audience will be there. He's having an intimate talk with a toilet bowl. So.
Such a potty mouth.
Well, all right. So, oh yeah, if you like the thunderstorm in the background, that's ambient mixer, and hopefully I will be able to finish things this week. Damn it! And we'll have different music next episode. I'm gonna conquer this now. And the Discord will be done. I haven't forgotten. I just can't get to it. And I'm so sorry. I know some people are being driven completely nuts by hearing hands crack, but sorry. I'm a bit more nervous than I should be. I don't need the thunderstorm in the background. Alright. So, if you enjoyed the thunderstorm in the background, that was Ambient Mixer. If you like the world map, that's Wonderdraft, the dungeon map, Dungeon Alchemist, and the town map, Canvas of Kings. Oh, I should have. That could have been interesting. I should have tried to make the pirate camp using Canvas of Kings. Would have been able to create a larger map. Oh, that would have been interesting. Damn. Alright. So, you're going to be stuck for an entire episode, so I can. Alright. What happened last episode? Well, our party did its best to not be discovered before arriving at Fisher's former friends hideout. They took a long detour to try and hide properly, went for a swim, climbed rock face that would kill some people, but fortunately, they can all fly one way or the other. They hid for a little while, explored the area, avoided a nasty fight, and managed to get on board the ship. The right ship, leading to the right place. Now, they are stuck at the bottom of this ship in the cargo hold. And they need to figure out how they're going to get out of there without being seen. But they know they have anywhere between 2 to 5 days to figure this out. So, without any delay, and I was hoping that audience would be back at this point, but we go to our heroes. And let's see what they figure out for this then dangerous endeavor. Hopefully, they can come up with a good plan, because they're going up against a lot of people, ships, someone who might be able to see them coming, and, you know, just this tiny bit called a siege breaker, which can obliterate the defenses of a small keep. Nothing big.
Nah, I don't think we have to worry about that.
No. It's going to be completely easy. All right.
I'm willing to bet they didn't pay taxes on that. The IRS will defeat them.
Well, I'm sorry, you didn't pay for the crystal in your engine, or you got to take it. What? You pirated it. We're
I
pirates!
forgot to get it registered.
You declared it was a minor crystal, but it's clearly a major crystal. All right. So, you are left alone inside of this cargo hold with your illusion. Hold on. Cowl's cloak, bowl, haven, Chilitis. Oh man, it's starting again. Yeah. Oh, good lord, why does it? Okay. I was starting to hear the thumping noise, and that usually means there's a problem with one of my wires. Alright. I was hoping to get a good description of the object that you're using. But apparently I don't have it. I have everything else that I built on that day, but there's a hole, a 5-space hole in and it goes, oh, the tunneling gem, that's something that you bought on the very same day, that you bought from the very same store owner. That's annoying. All right. So. Hey, I completely forgot Terry has a sash. He looks smashing in it. All right, so the object is keeping you hidden at the other end of the cargo hold. Because everything has been moved around, so has the illusion. Now you look like a bunch of barrels. Because you're surrounded by barrels and bags of grains. So, creates a nice little space, sort of a pyramid that you would have decapitated. It's enough place for you to move. Not too much, though, but still. So, how do you start this? Audience seems to be distracted.
Mm-hmm. Well, when on the way in,
Yes.
we kind of made a beeline for the hold, but
Yeah.
how much of the layout did we kind of get in that?
It's a normal ship, standard
Right.
size. So you kind of know how it is. It's a 3-deck ship because you weren't. It's not meant to always be floating on the ocean. There was a way to get in on the main deck and also in the cargo hold, but that one was a little bit harder to get to. So you saw the main deck. It's classic, and I think I still have it, but I don't have the right camera angles. I think it's this one here. Like this. It's not the right ones, but all right. So that's the main deck that you can see. That's from where you entered. And so that's the general shape of the ship. The deck under it is the deck where you can find the generators and crew quarters. Do I still have it? Crew deck. Pretty sure. Ship. No. Okay. That's good enough. It's a bit too big. Can't see it on the screen. Thank God I never discarded all of the separate decks of the ships, because I tried to make one with all of the deck, and for some reason it just never appears. Well, at least I didn't throw out the old ones. Okay, like this, and like this. And that is the deck underneath it. The last deck is very similar to that one, except that there's no orb at the center. The core of the ship is not on the lowest of deck. It's mostly a space for storing things. And there aren't any crew quarters on this one for the side, for the sides. It's just additional storage area, but probably a bit pricier objects, just because they have their own little space. So this is the standard shape of a ship of this size. The inside can be changed a little bit. Like I said, for this one, the lowest of deck, the sides, they're not separate rooms. It's one big room, so there aren't walls between it. And the lower section is also a storage area, no wall in between. But the center is sort of the main storage area. The deck above it is exactly like this one, so with the machines. And the top deck is the one that you saw at the beginning. So this is roughly what the ship looks like. Can I put the two halves of this thing one next to the other? All right. That would be nice. Can I put them side by side? No, they're too large. Well, I can, but Fisher, you're gonna disappear. Half of you is gonna disappear.
Mm.
But yeah, you get two halves, the two main deck, and like I said, the last deck doesn't have any machineries, the same as the middle deck. So those are the two decks.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized I should probably have put a hole in the middle of the first one, so that larger crate could have been lowered in. Oh well. Next generation of ship.
All right. I mean, I think for this ship, there's. I mean, I think we're just kind of hanging out. I don't know if there's anything I want to do to this ship, because I think we're just catching a ride, and then.
Well, it's really if you want to add anything, make a new plan, add something to your plans. I'm giving you a little bit of time to do this. Technically, you have between 2 to 5 days, so you have a lot of time, but we're not gonna make people wait 2 to 5 days.
Uh, well, the. I think
Really?
the
What?
I mean, I think we want to be. We had a plan for Terry to sabotage the siege breaker.
Yes.
So for that, we need to be.
Well, you have several options for
For
that.
that to happen.
So, first of all, you have to figure out how you're going to get out of where you are. You can always just try to move about the ship. It worked kind of okay up until now. But if you get discovered while leaving the ship, the next few hours are going to be you sprinting across who knows how many corridors and how big of an island, trying to get to where you think your former captain is
Yeah.
hiding. You think that you are rather close to the outside hull of the ship. You know, something like 20. You're probably 30 feet away from the outside hull. 25, because the lower deck is just a little bit smaller than the picture that we have there. So long as the ship isn't docked near a solid wall, there is always option there. And once you're out, well, you're gonna have to cast invisibility on Terry and let him go, do his things.
I mean, I think we're getting out. Is there any kind of?
Well, you
I think
have you
it
have.
would have.
Go
We
ahead.
would kind of do like a because that kind of thing isn't really something Terry's done before. So I think I would do kind of like a dry run practice kind of thing while we're on this ship. Uh, of I would
Well,
casting invisibility on him and
yeah, yeah.
having him scout around and get a feel for what he's going to be doing. Um,
Okay, that's probably very easy to do. Terry can. Uh, yeah, he's gonna have to cast fly on himself. To cast fly on himself before you cast invisibility. So, and he can extend the fly, and so he's gonna have 40 minutes of flight and 20 minutes of crawling around before he is once again seen.
mhm.
Now, the
uh,
ship he's going to be looking in is probably 5 times the size of this one.
yeah. Um, but I just kind of want to get him practice with it
Okay.
and see if he can find just like another way off the ship that's not like if there's any like portholes or anything like that that we could kind of sneakily jump out of without having to stealth off the main plank.
Well, he does have an idea for this. If he's going to go anyway, trying to visit the ship, he does have the suggestion of going to the main bridge, trying to see if he can see outside. Because once you all know that you're arriving, he can, because he's going to be familiar with this emplacement, he can
Hmm.
place a clairvoyant sensor there. And so long as one of you is tied to him, you can use the helm of teleportation to move about, to have your
Hmm.
first jump, so you don't have as much space to cover.
Hmm.
So that's something he suggests.
Yep, that sounds good to me.
And what about Uncle Remy?
I mean, I'm just seeing if I even have any things to support that, well, he can actually use. Because
Well, Terry does have the advantage of being tiny, so anyone trying to see him will be a bit of a disadvantage, especially if he chooses where he reappears. It's hard seeing something that's 5 inch long when the entire corridor is in shadows. And he has a sash that he can place 5 inch. The sash combines the element of several. So when more to the wearer can transmit its thought directly while the wearer is focused. Can also hear any response. So yeah, can always hang something from a sash. Meaning that if you find a way to tie it to the sash, he doesn't need to use Mage Hand. And so is not going to use a spell which would break the invisibility.
I mean, I guess one thing that could be done, at least as far as a little extra, if because like under the assumption that the invisibility lasts for as long as it needs to, in the sense that something being broken or whatever, it's like or even just like something that can see through invisibility. Raimi would maybe take some time to study the color and texture of the wood of the ship, and then, with permission, use his disguise kit to help paint him the same color as the ship would, so that even if there's anybody out there that can see through invisibility, it's like they still have to go through the extra step of can they perceive him well enough to distinguish him from the wood around him.
That's easy enough to do. Out of all party member, you're probably the one who will have the easiest of time moving about the ship and trying to study it.
Like we're gonna Hunger Games this shit.
Terry, we're gonna disguise you into a wood plank.
Like, don't worry. It's like my years of decorating cakes have prepared me for this.
And I'm definitely not gonna put a nail in your head.
If anyone's gonna get nailed around here, it's hopefully Raimi. But
You know, a whole bunch of sailors. His imagination just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. Okay.
this whole ship literally stinks of men. My God.
Oh, I thought you were going to go somewhere else with that. Okay, so. Let's see. Roll for a stealth. So you can move about the ship.
Okay.
Try not to roll a natural one.
Well, it's hard for me to roll a natural one because the boots I have also give me advantage.
You mean you've never rolled 3 1 in a row?
No, but I have rolled 3 20s in a row as the DM. So, and this was a dragon fight, by the way.
Okay.
Damn.
So that was really just like rubbing salt in the wound, or in this case, ash.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's gonna be a 33.
I mean, I can roll for the crew, but there's very little chance that anyone will actually see you with this. Okay. And anyway, if I roll the only thing which can actually see you, you've already shown that you can just force me to re-roll it. How many times can you cast Silvery Barb again?
It is a first level spell.
So, essentially, everyone rolls at disadvantage. And I'll just tell you how many spell slots you had to use during your expedition. All right.
Anyway, just maybe just to have some fun, be annoying. It's like as he's going through the ship, Raimi will just unlock and lock random doors,
Yeah.
Well,
make them think that the ship is cursed.
that's when something happens. You know, you start doing this just for fun, and you didn't pay attention. You thought it was a small closet, but when you open the door, because it was locked, you found that it was a toilet. So there's a brief moment where the guy is looking at you and he's going, Silver Barb! You didn't see me.
Well, no, actually, I think what would be more appropriate is the Silvery Barbs functions in this way. You didn't see anything, and then he didn't.
This is not the Kenku you're looking for.
No, he goes, it, I need more toilet
Actually, no,
paper.
Oh wait, no. On second thought, hold on. It's like if they're on the toilet, maybe the Silvery Barbs is like, what the? And suddenly, massive diarrhea. It's like, and by the time they come out of their coma, they thought they imagined the whole thing.
They're just looking in front of them and, must have been what I ate. It looked like the bird, though. Really got to be careful with those things. So yeah, actually, I'm not kidding. You did have to use one spell slot. There was one natural 20 in the 9 rolls that I made. So so take a little bit of time. You mess around with all of the doors. Make sure that there's something in the way of a few cabin when they're entering, so they're gonna stumble and fall. Make sure that one shelf is on the verge of falling, so that when the ship starts going down, everything's gonna slide and there's gonna be a mess in this cabin. Sorry. You feel satisfied after doing this for a good hour or so? You licked every bandage in the infirmary? You...
Gross, dude.
You have a pretty good idea of the kind of wood that is used. You've seen it elsewhere. I don't know my woods well enough to tell you exactly what type of wood it is.
Balcony. I'm joking.
That's okay.
I'm not actually certain if mahogany would be an appropriate like a wood type for a ship if you're also looking for buoyancy.
Yeah, no, probably not. It's probably going to be too heavy of wood. Well, you know, you can always ask Google, what were the ship made of? What wood or ship made of? And the answer is oak. Primarily oak and pine, elm, ash. Interesting. Ah, the keel was made out of elm. Interesting. Oh, ho, ho, ho. We got one player leaving for the toilet and another one arriving from the toilet. Okay. Hold on. Let's try and have everyone inside of this. Yay! We got all cameras. All right. So, standard ship. Mixed in with all of these, there are metal elements, especially in the lower decks. You do get the impression that there's been armor plating that's been added on the exterior. And this becomes more obvious when you're on the top deck, because it's not a fully enclosed ship. The front of the ship is enclosed, and the portion, contrary to what the picture shows, because it's the only one that I had left, the back side is also enclosed. But the front, the middle section is not. So you can look outside and you notice that the hull does have metal plating. So there could be a mix. And a ship as big as a siege breaker will most likely have been made for battle. So there's a chance that there will be a high quantity of metal on the other ship, but the decks themselves most likely made of wood. And as Google just told us, probably ash and birch. So, with enough information to try and start to devise a plan, and Fisher's plan to let Terry fly around the ship, make him invisible, give him a few runs of exploring this, see what might work best. The first day is completely spent with this. Remy had fun. Terry got to see the different parts of the ship. He got to feel the engine, so now he knows at least what the engine feels like, and maybe he's going to be able to easily follow it with your instruction of the type of energy that he's looking for. Might be able to find his way. So all in all, a good first day of being hidden here. A good a bit long day. And of course, I'm logged out of D&D Beyond. I wanted to go check the object that you're using. For some reason, all of the cookies inside of the computer just expired at the same day. So now I have to relog everywhere. Except on Twitch. I don't know why. It's the only one that did not expire. I'm not complaining. So, audience, what do you do for a full day? You're completely alone with Fisher while Remy is adventuring inside of the ship, trying to learn everything he can so he can make a convincing disguise for Terry in case his invisibility falls while he's exploring the siege breaker.
Mm-hmm.
So, and of course, Terry is making practice runs using invisibility on him and fly. It gives him 40 minutes of invisible flight and 20 minutes of crawling. So he knows that he has to figure things out in that allotted time. Which means that for the entire first day, you're alone with Fisher.
Audience would probably spend the time trying to counteract the other part that's going to be complicated, which is devising a way or trying to figure out a way to work with defeating someone who I'm still not 100% sure can reset moments of time or can predict actions before they happen. But
Taranad can probably give a little of wisdom on this. Kind of obvious, but still. He'll give the information, well, to Fisher, and Fisher is going to share it with you. If you're going up against someone that can either predict or redo portion of times, you have to assume that your normal strategy is not the best one. But on top of that, whichever strategy you're going to use, you might have already used it simply because you wanted to do different. So it might be inevitable that the initial moments of this battle will be a trap that you will fall into. But after that moment, that's where you're going to have to be inventive. Because the moment it feels like the enemy seems to know what you're doing, where you are in the room, that's going to mean it's something you already tried. Or they have seen you try. Which means you're going to have to completely change tactic the moment you realize this. But the good element of this is that the further you go into the fight, the less likely this is going to happen.
yes. I guess in the one other thing audience would do during that day, as it's a new day, he would see if he can get any insight from outside sources as well. And so he'd use the divination on his amulet to ask if the did we ever get a name for the captain? It was
Captain.
Captain.
Erasti. That's the only name that I have on my list that begins with an
Okay.
A that is not linked to anyone.
Is that what we're going with?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to go with that one.
Then he would ask, he would be like, does Captain Erasti have any weaknesses that we do not yet know about? That would be his question.
Oh, okay.
For that day.
Okay. Remy, can I say that for some reason your cat is out?
I mean, that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
It's like, look, I'm imagining that, there's still some mice to compete for.
Okay. So, audience, you ask this question to your deity. And in the next few moments, you remain very perceptive of what's happening around you to get an impression of what might be the answer. And the only thing that falls into your eyes is Remy's cat. He's chasing after a mouse. And you see that he seems to know what he's doing, because he tries to cut the mouse as he's trying to go around a crate. The mouse sees it, he starts moving away. But then something happens, and Remy's cat did not foresee this. And he just
He's had
waits.
friends.
He waits there. He waits there. He waits there. You see his head just go. and then he starts furiously clawing to where the mice should have been. Sort of like, come on, you should be here. The heck? Anger. Ego.
Okay. Okay. I would tell Fisher. I'd say not the best answer, but maybe something we can work with. The captain might have an anger or ego issue where if we can get him frustrated because he thinks he knows what we're going to do, and we keep frustrating him, he might not think as clearly or logically, and we might be able to catch him off guard.
Mm-hmm. Make him make a mistake.
We can make a mistake. So frustrate him, do that, especially if we can mess with his ship. I'm sure that'll frustrate him,
Mm-hmm.
which is already in our plans. And
Also, there is one element that you feel like maybe you should listen to. The fact that it's a cat. Cat likes to play with their food.
Okay. Yeah. Also, he'll want to play games with us, make us realize that he's smarter than us instead of just finishing us off.
Yeah.
We can also use that to our advantage.
Yeah, he's not gonna be brutally lethal. Or clinically lethal.
Guys, he's gonna monologue. No, I'm kidding.
He probably will. He might do it while fighting. Or he was also the type to monologue.
Like, you sly dog, you got me monologuing.
You sly dog, you.
For a full hour. Oh, damn.
I'd kill to meet a man with that much stamina.
Alright. That's what audience does on his first day.
Okay. So, first day comes to an end. You do your best. I'm doing my best to try and give you as much space that people can actually see you with all these shit parts. Alright. So, first day goes well. Nobody seems to be paying much attention to the cargo hold, so you don't have to worry about this. When second day come, Remy, you seem to have a little bit of time to try and start practicing. Now, who are you gonna practice on? I wonder. Maybe you should transform your cat into a lynx.
I mean, look, they can't get too mad. It's like, because at least it's still a cat. A powerful cat, even.
Mm-hmm.
Might even boost their ego a bit.
Which is one? Oh yeah. Well, if you really wanna have the a way to absolutely practice on a cat, you should make him a sphinx. It's the type of cat that has no fur. You can just start painting on him. I'm gonna transfer you into Sphinx. Really? Not that Sphinx, the other one. Oh, god damn it.
It's like, sorry, the Sphinx of Wonder does not exist yet. Also, not a warlock.
So yeah. Okay. So second they
Two
come.
pretty big barriers.
Oh yeah, yeah. But could be doable. Who knows? So second day comes, and Terry can easily go once again into a run. Now he's wondering if you want to know what's happening on the ship. What's the range of Rory's telepathic bond?
Same
I don't think it
plane.
has one. Yeah.
Same plane. All right.
It's like I could double check. It's like, but I think its only restriction is that it lasts an hour, and I think you have to be on the same plane.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
That's wrote to me.
that way, Terry will have 59 minutes of flight, and you'll be able to perceive through Terry's vision. It's probably very odd trying to do this because Terry does not see, but he can still perceives. So probably Remy, you're the one that can more easily understand where he is because you've actually explored the ship for a day. But you also it's also very odd because you have video recording essentially of the ship. He just knows where he is. He knows when he's moving about that there's a long flat surface to his right, to his left, below. He knows there's someone, but he doesn't perceive any shape. He just knows it's there. So it's kind of the same thing as if you were walking about with your eyes closed, which is definitely not what you did the first day.
Like, look, maybe if he becomes blind, but is also at that by that point uh, a legendary hero of sorts, like maybe he will just enter places blindly and just know where everything is. But not this day.
Well, you can always wish for the perception of the dragon, but
Yeah, but I feel like that wish could also be twisted so that, okay, you have the vision of a dragon, your eyeballs have been replaced with dragon eyes. They don't fit in your head.
You now are a Kenku with googly eyes. Large, oversized, googly eyes.
And a massive headache for the rest of your life.
So, you have a bit of an understanding of the ship as Terry sees it, of course. But with Remy can probably, with an effort, translate the image of where he is with an image of where Remy was that felt similar. So it's not completely exact. So you have at least a better understanding of the ship. With the bond, this time, Fisher, you can assist Terry in better locating what he needs. Let's see. Thanks to Remy, I'm gonna go with. You can make an intelligence roll, Fisher. Can go with investigation if you have proficiency. Let's see how well you guide Terry. And
Use a luck point.
you roll what?
I'm gonna use a luck point.
Okay. So natural one. Okay.
No, but a 4.
I mean, if you break off a piece of a 4, it looks like a 1.
Well, that's technically better.
5.
5.
By 2. So that ends up being a 15.
Well, You have the excuse of saying that Remy was probably not showing you the right hallway. It was a mistake, it wasn't the right hallway, it was the left hallway. So instead of make him go to the main engineering, he found himself in a bathroom closet. That's when Remy realized that, oh, this is where we are. Okay, never mind. So, unfortunately, it's not going to grant him advantage as he's looking through the other ship. Or rather, it's not going to... He already will have advantage because of the information you gave him. But it's not going to lower the DC to find what he needs. So, he can do that a few times during the day. But unfortunately, with little positive at least he didn't. At least no one found him. So there's that. For the second day, Remy and audience, what do you do?
Second day.
You have between
I don't know.
2.5 days and 5 days. You're not sure.
3.5, 5 days. I think audience would use this time to sort the inventory in his dimensional storage, because there's not much else going on. There's not a lot he can do on the ship.
It's okay.
Make sure everything's in order.
Okay.
How long has this dead body been there?
About a week. Now I wonder what's inside of there right now. Did you ever ask anyone to empty it, or do you still have the huge cask with a dead body inside decomposing because it's acid?
No, we still have the huge cask. I doubt it's decomposing. I assume it's completely dissolved since it was quite strong acid.
Yeah, it's been a few days, so yeah. So right now it's only bones. You sort of have that brief moment where you're looking at the cask full of acid, and you look at the tiny blob in a jar, and you're wondering, can I combine the two?
I don't think I'm suddenly going to become an alchemist.
No. And that's why you don't try. So you brush it aside as an intrusive thought. You don't try it. But at least it tells you that since you're looking at the okay. Well, I wasn't planning on this, but I hadn't rolled to see if anyone saw you during the day. But since you did take out a tiny blob in a jar. As you're rummaging through everything, at one point you do realize that the tiny blob is starting to wiggle a little faster.
Alright. I'd go back to hiding.
Senses danger.
That's what the tiny blob in a jar does. He wiggles when he senses potential danger. And so...
Wait, I just figured it out, guys. We keep, as the fight goes on with the guy, we'll keep bringing out the jars, we try different things, and they will shake more or less depending on how good our decision is. And that's how we judge how good our next decision is.
Interesting.
It's like a tell us, oh wise jiggly jelly blob.
I mean, it technically says the more danger you're in, it's going to wiggle more, which means the next action we take, it will either wiggle more or less than it currently is, which lets us know if we're making the right or wrong decision.
The difference is not going to be extremely big. You'd have to dedicate one party member to this, otherwise someone's going to lose a turn while he's trying to figure out, is this a stronger jiggle?
Make some perception rolls.
Terry's new job is to read the Wigglies.
So you want him to go sabotage the other ship and take the tiny blob in a jar?
Like, I'm joking.
Well, actually, unironically, he should take the tiny blob in the jar, because that actually might be helpful to him.
I just realized it as I was saying it. He's going to have a danger meter. Hey, if you want to give him the tiny blob in a jar as he's adventuring throughout the other ship, I will increase the DC for the crew to find him.
How
Yeah. I mean,
Sorry, wait. How is he holding it again?
yeah,
Just-
I don't know.
Well,
was
it's a
fine.
tiny jar, so he's got a sash. Just tie it to the sash.
I mean, I guess maybe I've just been like misunderstanding like how big this blob is, because I've been imagining a jar like this big.
Oh, I've been imagining like a little one-handed like pickle jar.
Yeah, me as well. More like a one-handed pickle jar. Maybe something that size. You know, I don't know if you have those in the United States.
I mean, Toby was able to open it easily, so it could have been that big.
That's kind of mean, but yeah. Oh, do you have? Oh, hold on. That might be an interesting size. A standard can. That's kind of a nice, maybe just a little bit too big. But I was gonna say a mason jar.
Like maybe like a miniature Coke can.
Yeah.
You know, the kind of Coke can that a guy will take a picture before he sends it to someone he's interested in. Anyway.
Interesting.
You think I'm joking, by the way.
You are joking, but I'm pretty sure there aren't a lot of people that it's not unanimous in the world that you're joking.
No, the joke here actually is that I am not joking.
Okay.
It's what we call a size reference.
Yeah. I know. I got the thing. That's why I said I think you are joking personally, but I don't think that it's a joke.
It's a joke here based on a true story.
Yeah, the question is it your true story? Is that how you seduced your husband?
No, I actually got a newspaper, made sure that the day's date could be seen.
Oh, I thought you said you rolled it and that was the reference. All right.
No, I need to make sure. I need to make sure it looks like it's a hostage situation. You know.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, I'm now borrowing jokes from comedians. Please, before I tangent too far off.
Save you from yourself.
So, tiny blob in a jar. I was seeing something that was actually a bit smaller. You know, something maybe that size. I'm doing this in front of my face, so you have sort of a reference. So yeah, it's not something that's huge. It's, hey, I have a pint here. It's smaller than this. It actually really is a pint. That's what's written on it. The pint. I bought it just because of that. So, it could be possible to tie it to Terry's sash.
So, I mean, fuck it. It's like,
Yeah.
we need to keep your son safe. And maybe he makes a new friend. Maybe he can actually communicate with the tiny blob in the jar.
Give him
Yeah.
enough time, he probably will. All right. So, he makes a run during the day with a tiny blob in a jar tied to his sash, so he knows how it feels. I'm sure Remy knows a few good knots. Well, I was gonna say Remy probably knows a few good knots, but I think you all know a few good knots because Fisher's a fisherman.
Yeah, like based on our
Remy's
own
a
context.
thief,
Yeah.
and audience went on boats for at least over a year, so I think you all know knots.
Now, are some of us naughtier than others? Yes.
And some nuttier than others. So, interesting day. Interesting day. The day ends. Terry comes back. He wasn't seen. Thanks to the tiny blob in a jar, you realize that someone was approaching your position, and you manage to react in time. So, second day ends, and still you're not discovered. Now, you know you will be arriving somewhere between half day of the next day or 3 days more. So, how do you start spending your time on those days? Because there's a chance that if you arrive during that day, you can't recover the spell slots that you've used. So, I want to know how you want to spend those days.
Audience really doesn't do much.
It's okay.
Audience is just kind of hanging out, waiting for sorting inventory. It's like he doesn't have a lot to do.
Okay.
I think similarly.
All right.
If we're getting close enough that we think we might be getting there, I'm gonna start being just play it safe, hang out, wait, save everything for if we.
Okay. So
Maybe continues to give the impression that the ship is cursed.
you go back out and you start locking and unlocking doors. You wait for people to go into the bathroom and then you start scratching on the doors. And when they come out, there's nothing.
By the way, with all the supplies in here,
Yes.
especially being seems like a decent amount of it is food. Does it seem like it is food for this, based on the amount? Is it food for this trip, or are they delivering like food and supplies?
No, you'd say that they are delivering. There's at least a quantity of food that is meant for the island because you know that it's 5 days, and you estimate that there's probably enough food for a month on the ship. But also, it's not all that's in there. It's not just food and supply. There is a considerable amount of treasure, mostly gold, jewels, object pillage from other ships. So there's an impressive amount of spice. You find a crate full of bottles of wines.
Yeah, I think in line with what audience discovered about trying to piss him off. 'Cause, I would like to essentially just sabotaging these supplies, so that when they get delivered, there is not as much as there was supposed to be, and what is there is not as good as was hoped. So
Okay.
I have let me look for how much I'm currently carrying. Okay, that's not as much as I thought I did. Ooh, I have a couple of those.
Audience would help you with that if he
Yeah.
asked.
I've got some oil flasks that haven't been used. So using that and some my last poison vial, try and stealthily ruin some food stores.
Okay.
Like open the box or barrel, dump it in, start around, close it again, and then just kind of yoink some of the nice treasure and stick it in audience's dimensional storage.
All right.
Box again.
All right. Roll a. Even though the cargo hold is mostly empty, you're still gonna be rummaging through things. So I'm gonna say stealth.
Audience, you said you were helping me, right?
I did, yes.
You want me to help you?
Sure.
Like, I think Fisher's done gambling on a D20.
Well, that was two
Yeah,
19s. It was
that's
two 19s, so it was a 22. Stealth for
Okay.
me.
Well, then in that case, that's pretty good. You know, it's a low superhuman roll, but still. So, you manage to be quite stealthy. It's easy to spoil the foods that are in there. I mean, audience has an entire cask of digestive acid. So he can just scoop out a few cup, pour it into some of the food. You can ask Terry to spit inside of the wine cask. His spit is acid. It's going to completely ruin that.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, start shoving a few things, a few. So, how do you want to steal things? Do you just want to take the box and push them into audience's dimensional storage?
No, I would be taking things out of boxes so that boxes aren't disappearing.
Okay.
So from a glance, it doesn't look like anything's different.
How much do you want to empty those crates? You know, half of them, a third of them?
How much junk do we have in the dimensional storage?
Well, the huge cask is taking more than half of the space, but you still have the equivalent of a 5 foot by 5 foot cube available.
Mm-hmm. But if you guys remember, do we still have like a bunch of random shit in there?
The audience had the storage altered so that weapons are a different way of opening the doors.
Yeah,
Yes, we do have a.
You
We do
pull
have
the
an
curtain in a
armory
different
there.
direction.
Yeah, we do have an armory back there, but it's not in the main area.
is now a stage magician's trick.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have also, actually, audience just organized it, so it's fairly organized. There's probably a decent amount of space in it.
Yeah, he managed to push the cast completely at the end of it. There's enough room. The shelves are there. And, any weapons and equipment that are there, you can also empty that and store it in the different storage.
The different one, yeah.
Mhm. I think I don't really want to be. I would.
So give me a percentage of each box that you want to take out.
Okay. I think just the most expensive looking, like 10% of each box.
Okay. Okay.
Everything but the best stuff and enough to make it look noticeable that somebody is skimming things.
Okay. Well, in that case, Remy can probably
And plant
definitely
the
help you.
evidence in one of the people's rooms.
Few coins.
I am fully willing to sow as much chaos on this ship as possible.
All right. Well, Remy, roll stealth and sleight of hand. We'll see how well you manage to just hide stuff everywhere. Help Fisher.
I need you to know the lowest roll I can get on this sleight of hand is a 30.
So yeah, so even with a natural 1, you can easily hide pennies under the pillows of pirates. It hurts. It physically hurts you, Remy, when you take this beautiful green gem. But you know that if you slide it inside of the cabin of the captain of this ship, he's going to be in major trouble. So it hurts slightly, but you do it anyway. So.
But anyway, with as far as stealth goes, I got just a 30.
Yeah.
But then I got a 34 on the sleight of hand.
So basically the average impossible roll. That's okay. So
just an average Mission Impossible movie.
yeah, absolutely. That's the whole premise of Mission Impossible. It's all 30 and up rolls. So
It's like he's even playing the Mission Impossible theme while he's doing it.
people don't know why, but they're walking in the hallways and they hear what the all right, so you manage to sow chaos. You manage to redistribute. There wasn't supposed to be an S at the end of that. The riches, and take a little cut. You find yourself with a few beautiful but basic magical weapons. Mainly because the moment they become magical, it's like making something out of gold. It never tarnish. You don't have to maintain it. But they don't actually have any bonus other than being able to hurt magical creatures. But they're beautiful. Those are the ones that have the best jewelries on them, the most impressive engraving. Take a few for yourself. Give a few to Remy so he can redistribute them. at the end of the day, you have an impressive collection that you could probably decorate your personal quarters in the garden. And next time that the priest comes, he's gonna at least find that your quarters are not as empty as he feared.
Got some nice wall hangers.
Yeah.
It's really weird too. It's like you now just have like a pair of katana like on the wall. It's like, wow, I bet you killed a lot with those. No, those don't get used. They are to own, not to use.
So yeah. I mean, you can also give one or two of those magical object to audience. I'm sure his dragon's gonna love it. You know,
That's for
there's
why not.
this. There's
Donate
this.
to the whole.
Donate to the Horde.
There's this magical statue that everything you boop her nose, she starts dancing. You don't know where it's coming from, but hey. And it's magical, so it's not mechanical. She dances more than the mechanical version of it. So, a good day. You are about ready to go and sleep. Starting to feel tired. Remy feels proud. And you start feeling the ship move in a different direction. It starts slowly turning. Probably, Fisher, you're the one that can feel it the best. The ship is slowing down. You're arriving somewhere.
With my previous ship experience, does this feel like docking procedures, or does this feel like changing direction?
No, it's not just a change of direction. They're slowing down, so it's either they're arriving in a place where they have to be careful, or they're preparing to dock with something or another ship.
Mm-hmm.
We could send your cat to scout.
I would have. We can do what we talked about earlier. If we get Rory's telepathic bond up, and then have Terry cast clairvoyance to peek outside the ship.
All right. Thanks to Terry's reconnaissance of the ship, he knows where to put the sensor. You put up the bond. Terry casts clairvoyance. And although he can't understand what he's seeing, you can. You're arriving. It's a very large island. You'd say maybe in the cusp of 2 to 3 miles wide. There's a little bit of greenery, a few trees. There's even a field. There's a very large dock that pushes out from the island. And there's maybe half a dozen ship in total. But the thing that makes you feel like you've arrived is that one of those ship is the not the shield breaker, the siege breaker that attacked Tobayashi's monastery.
Right. Outside of the ships, do we see? So there's like docks, ships. What does the military preparedness look like? Does this look like a dock, or does it look like a military base?
No, it doesn't look like a military base, but there do seems to be some level of readiness in the sense that you see one ship patrolling. It's flying, not a big one, smaller than this one, but it slowly flies. It comes near the ship for a brief moment, and there's an exchange between the captain and the ship. While this is happening, you can notice another one moving about a bit further away. Uh, there are definitely, probably Remy is the one that can see it better because he has the best perception. But there are some guards that are waiting. It doesn't look like a military installation, but it looks like a guarded thief den.
Uh-huh. So not like strict patrols or heavy security, but everybody's armed and people
Yeah.
are.
There's a good level of vigilance.
Yeah.
The It seems like the main compound is made of 5 buildings, but there are more buildings scattered around. You're guessing that there's at least a good portion of people that actually lives on the island because there's a field there and there are a few houses around it. It is almost the end of the day, so it's difficult to see very far away. But thank goodness there are some lights and brazier torches, things like this, which allows you to get an idea of okay, so there's the main complex, there are some secondary complexes, but it's going to take a while if something happens for them to respond. The docks, like I said, have this huge siege breaker and 6 other ship of decent size docked there. There is another ship docked a bit outside, so you're guessing that they're emptying its hold, or why won't the word come out? The opposite of emptying, filling the hull of this ship. There are a few points of defense. Remy notices a few arcane ballistas dotted about, maybe in grand total a dozen of them. It gives an impressive ability to repel attack from ships, but they're not. You don't see them actively. It's not like when you arrived near the abandoned city on the Northern Isles, where the arcane ballistas, even though they were unmanned, reacted to every single movement there was. These ones seem to be inert, so they have the potential of pushing back an impressive attack, but it's not activated right now.
And like personally, nothing's gonna be scarier than the last arcane ballista. So it's like honestly, this is kind of like okay.
All right.
Where is it in relation to the siege breaker?
I didn't hear the middle of that sentence.
The ballista.
Where the ballistas are, they're all over the island.
Okay.
So, yeah,
They're all spread out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just need to get on the. We gotta have to get off this ship first.
Yeah.
Step number 1.
Well,
What
thanks to
is-
the clairvoyance and the Rory's telepathic bond, you can
I can
see.
so I'm gonna
So you
teleport
can
us.
probably use the Helm of Teleportation to choose a place where to find yourself.
True. Yeah.
I think we want to just go the siege breaker.
We don't want to go on it
Not
because we know it
on-
is anti. Yeah. We also know it
But
almost
near it.
definitely is anti-teleportation.
Yeah. But near it.
Yeah.
So what? So it's docked. What is the dock? It's docked. What like? What's around there? What's guard wise?
A lot of people. They are preparing to receive the ship, so there's an abundant contingent of people, mostly workers. It feels lightly armed. The people that are actually armed aren't that numerous. Maybe as the ship is slowly starting to descend toward the dock it's supposed to dock to, you can start seeing a little bit better the type of people on the ground defending the place. There's maybe 24 of them on the dock, both preparing in case there's something, but also they know that they are dealing with pirates, so they're getting ready to search people as well. But other than that, other than those 24 guards, there's maybe 100 worker there, all preparing, slightly anxious. Some of them are showing signs of already being tired. And to be frank, it's the last few moments of light of the day, so it's kind of normal.
I think. Is there any like good cover around the siege breaker? Like,
Well, one
so
of
like,
you make.
are there any like, are there any forests on this island? Or is it
Well,
just
like I
kinda-
said, there are a few. There is. I wouldn't call it a forest, but there's maybe an underwood.
Uh-huh.
But it's on the other side of the island, near the fields.
Uh-huh.
Other than that, it's a pirate city, so there most likely are. You're almost sure that there are places where you could just teleport and no one would be able to see you. The problem is that they're not obvious to see from where you are. Even with Remy's perception, he would be able to say, okay, there, over there, I can see that there's part of a dock and there's nothing that gives light to this place. But there's also the possibility that there's someone right on the other side of that little bend and you might be seen by someone over there. But there are plenty of places, and just with Remy's passive perception, he can easily identify 5 or 6 different places where there's good potential, but no securities. You have to go outside of the main complex to have places where you feel secure that it's sure you're not going to be seen if you teleport there.
I think we might go outside the main complex because I don't want to. I kind of want to take some time. Like I don't want to land and start going immediately. Like I want them to start offloading stuff. I want them to realize the crates don't have as much as they thought and worse stuff, and let that bubble up and kind of give Terry time to.
Well, if that's what you want to do, I mean, Terry.
So I think maybe outside.
Terry would tell you that there are a few problems with this. If you want, Terry would tell you that if you want me to go and try and sabotage the larger ship, I'll need to be able to get there within the time that my flight allows me to.
Yeah, so we'll
Meaning
need
that
to
you'll
do it, yeah.
either need to leave me next to the ship and then go back somewhere else, or we all get to the ship and we go from there. The other alternative, which is an option if you're confident in Uncle's Remy's ability to paint the disguise, you can always use the helm to teleport near the siegebreaker and leave me there and go far away. I'll hide once the invisibility wears off, and you can just pick me up once all of this is done. I'll hide as soon as I'm done. If Remy's ability to disguise me is good enough, I won't be discovered. And I will be able to do more if I have more time. That way you can just drop me somewhere and then teleport to the far end of this island. You'll be able to prepare properly. Give yourself a full day if you want. I can hide.
Mm-hmm. All right. But you got to be real careful with not being found.
I will.
Because he shouldn't be able to know what you're doing if you're quiet about it. And so shouldn't be able to.
I'll be as
Go back.
discreet as a gutworm. You can't identify what he's doing on his face, but the emotion behind it and the way he says it, it sort of feels like he's grinning as he's saying this.
Uh-huh. All right.
Uh-oh, he's making jokes.
Yeah.
Well, he's kind of proud of himself because and you know a bit his humor. Perspective wise, it's sometimes weird, but you know, he's comparing himself to a gutworm because he's going to go inside the belly of a large ship and try to sabotage it and hide there.
Mm-hmm.
It's his kind of humor, but you know, he thinks it's funny.
All right. In that case, I think I will look for one of the spots Remy clocked that would be kind of near the siege breaker that will hopefully be empty, but we might need to take someone out real quick. And then, yeah, drop them off and
Sorry. Shh. Okay.
go wait for stuff to kind of slowly boil over.
Okay. So, using the sensor that he put up on the main deck, just as you start hearing people coming down the stairs and starting to give order about get that crate over there and start with those here. Those are gonna go, and he gives the name of a ship, and those are gonna go into storage. You use the helm of teleportation to teleport yourself to a place that you can actually see, meaning it's probably impossible that you fail.
Hey, we don't use the I word around here.
42.
42. I'm pretty sure it's okay.
That's lowish, but I think with It's the answer, though.
All right, 40.
Well, it's a good thing we come to the correct answer. Now we just need to figure out the question.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think we can go on very familiar. Associated permanence. Yeah, you can go on a very familiar. Meaning, it's gonna be this. Okay. So not a lot, not a lot. Yeah. Okay. Because there are some level of protection still working, even at this level, to prevent someone from just stealing stuff, the teleportation kind is thrown a little bit off target, but not that much. You arrive maybe 100 feet off of your target. The reason why I roll is to see if where you find yourself exactly. Now that was a bit close. Remy, when you see the place where you want to go because of the bond, and then you teleport yourself and you realize that you're not exactly at the right place because there's a wall left of you, and you know that Fisher was left of you. So hopefully he's not inside of a wall, he's just inside of a building. And you don't see audience either. Thanks to the roll, audience and I'm gonna remove that one. Audience and Fisher, you do find yourself not exactly where you wanted, but it's inside of a storage shed. So at least that did not go too poorly. You make a little bit of noise. The moment that you try and turn around, you knock something over, and Remy, you realize, okay, they're good. Is that good that they're good? They're doing noise. But thankfully, no one is around. Because I rolled a natural 1 to see if there was anyone near where you were. So you make noise, things fall over, but there is no one. You all have that moment of, all right, we're good, we're good. So, Remy, you know they're inside the building right next to you. You heard them knock over something.
Crash, crash, crash. Ow, my leg!
Right. My foot! Audience, stub a toe. Stub the toe. Alright, so. It only takes a minute for you to regroup. Fortunately, natural 1 for if there were anyone near where you are. And then natural 2. A 2. When you look at where you are, you're really not far off. You're maybe, like I said, 100 feet away. Thank goodness you weren't thrown off target by a lot. Well, that worked. All right. Terry looks at you. That was interesting. I can still perceive us from the ship. nothing seems to have changed. So, let's do this. He casts Fly on himself. He extends the spell so that it lasts longer.
Cast invisibility on him.
Alright. And he leaves with a little tiny blob in a jar. And this is the last time you see your son. For at least a few days. We're gonna go with Stephen King. He didn't know it was the last time he would ever see his son. Damn it! Alright. So with this, the picture of where you wanted to teleport yourself still in your mind, you use a second charge of the Helm of Teleportation and roll again.
88.
Ah, I was going to say 1. You find yourself on another island chain. Damn it. All right.
But the final boss is there.
Somehow back in the
Like
misty
it, he's
Isles.
on the toilet.
Yeah, you're in the Misty Isles. Are we supposed to do this right now? Oh, damn. All right. So, you have time. Terry will do his best. He got a full makeup from Uncle Remy before the whole teleportation thing occurred. And hopefully everything will go fine. Now let's see. How fine or not fine is this going?
Like, don't worry, when your son's grown up, he's gonna his eyeliner's gonna be on fleek.
All right.
Or should I call it guy liner?
Warm
But
liner?
he doesn't have eyes.
Exactly. All right. I now know Terry's fate. Shall we go on a break as you determine how you want to tackle getting to where you want to go?
Yeah, I think that's.
I think we should break anyway.
Yeah, 9.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was.
So anyway, we don't need to dress it up with anything. Just like
No matter what you answer, we go on a break. But you know, just so that the people watching don't think that you're not doing anything. Yeah. It's for you that I'm doing this. All right, see you back in 15 minutes. Bye.
But
Hello, we're back. Maybe I should put a different grid, you know, just so that it's not just an empty black screen. Yay, now we got a empty black and white screen. It's just that I still haven't removed Jorg's picture, so that's why I didn't put us back on the roleplay. All right. Can remove the marsh sound. All right, so we left off just as you arrived in the middle of a little underwood. You know, judging from where you are in the world, it's not palm trees, so it's very familiar. So, just a little underwood. It's not very dense. You get the feeling that during the summer times, there's probably a lot of berries, berry bushes around here. That's why they keep this little underwood. But for now, there's no one because there's snow every few days that falls from the sky, so it's a bit chilly, but other than that, it's very much lonely where you are. No one is around. No one was gathering anything where you are. Remy, your senses are warning you of people nearby, but it's at least a good 100 feet, and nothing lets you think that they can see you right now. It sounds like people talking at the end of the day. You can't make out exactly what they're saying, but judging from the tone of their voice, it's kind of like peasant complaining about a day of labor. But it's pirates, so a day of.
And why is our boss such a bitch?
So, what do you do now?
Well, I would uh, I think I'm kind of waiting to hear back from Terry.
All right.
Or
So-
hear from Terry.
What do you have to protect yourself from the cold while you're waiting? Because if you don't do anything, audience and Remy for sure will die of exposure tonight.
No, because
Either
like,
Remy or
I already applied my ring days ago.
That's why I said if nothing is done.
Remy, do you want to set up her dome or should I?
Raimi will point to himself.
I think this is a perfect time for a tiny hut.
All right. So you put up your camp and you start waiting. You have the hut. You can easily make a little fire inside of there. No one's going to see the light. And oh, that's interesting.
I don't believe we need a fire with tiny hut.
No, that's right. It's temperature controlled.
Yeah. And I don't want to risk the smoke, so.
That's the one thing that I was thinking about.
Yeah.
All right, so you are warm. You adjust the color of the dome to blend in with the dark environment. And you wait. And you wait. An hour go by. An hour go by. Then a second one. You know that Terry is visible right now. He's not saying anything, but you haven't heard any alarms. So it's kind of good, but also as a parent, you kind of come on, Terry. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Call me. Please send me a text message.
Yeah, I think Fisher is fidgeting right now, which is not something he almost ever does. He is generally very good at just being still. That's essentially what sentry resting is. But yeah, he's fidgeting like a lot, just waiting.
You have to wait nearly 4 hours before you hear something. First, there was the first hour, and that's okay, he was invisible. Then there was the second hour where you were getting a little bit worried, but no alarm. Then the third hour, you started wondering if he was dead, and they didn't need to sound the alarm. But like I said, at the end, right before the fourth hour comes, you hear a message. That was a close call. I don't know how much damage I was able to inflict. But I think my mission is complete. How was your landing?
Good. We've been safe and undetected so far. You get back to where we dropped you off. We can meet you there.
That will be difficult. There are too many guards where I am. I will need to wait until they change their position.
Okay. Keep playing it safe. Don't rush anything. And let us know when you're ready.
Alright, he knows you. He's gonna cast it again. You just burned through all of his 3rd level spells. He had to use a 4th level spell for the last one.
Like, Dad, you're killing me.
I don't know why he needs to respond to that last message.
Oh, you're gonna say that honestly, Fisher would be fine if he doesn't answer to the last one?
Yeah, he knows how sending works.
Okay. Terry knows you enough, so if you are honestly okay with him not answering to your last response, then he's not gonna send another message.
And that was the last text message he ever got from his son.
All right. By that time, audience is probably almost ready to fall asleep. It's been 4 hours. You haven't been doing anything. You know that Terry is okay, and his mission is mostly complete. You know that there is a chance that he will try to complete it, but right now he is, according to what he said, pinned down to where he is.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you wait until morning?
Yeah, I think we have to.
With the exception of when you were in that other realm, that you knew that Terry could not be killed. You have never been apart from Terry, with the exception of a single day since you've gotten him. Well, from your point of view, it was a single day. For him, it was 5 days. But so you go into your sentry rest with your son missing.
Yep.
He's out doing drugs with the pirates.
Getting drunk, for stomach. He needs a lot of drink to get drunk. And who knows the
Like-
size of his liver?
Like a whole 50 milliliters.
Yeah. In comparison to his body weight, it's an insane amount.
When you're 5 inch long, 2 ounce is. What do you want, Dad? I drank a full cask. For my size. Alright, so you all go to sleep. The temperature inside of the dome is good. It allows you to stay warm during the night. As it is customary for this season, the sun rises late. It is almost 6 o'clock when the first rays of light appears, other than the moon's, of course. But still. You're reaching the end of the 8 hours of the dome. You get up, get prepared for your day, and then the dome drops, and Audience and Fisher, you have this moment of it's like getting out of bed but not having any. You forgot to put your clothes on the chair right next to you, so you have to go get your clothes naked.
Really wakes you up in the morning.
Ooh, that's brisk.
Yeah.
All right.
Like in the last place I was living, where for a little bit our furnace started being weird, where it would turn off at night and then not turn back on. So we just wake up and it'd be like 45 degrees inside the house.
So basically, you're saying that your camera problem has just followed you. It's just different now. It used to be the heater. And now it's the camera. Okay. All right. So, morning is there. What do you do? Gotta figure a way to get to that pirate. They've been unloading throughout the night. So there's a good chance that whatever was inside of that ship has been checked, stored, and a good 25 people are either in the brig right now or hanging from the poles at the dock.
Mm-hmm. I think when we were coming in and looking around with clairvoyance,
Yep.
do they have does it seem like they're guarding like from the island? Or is most of their defensive vigilance seem to be against like ships and airships coming in?
The island is not that big. Few miles across, that's all. So, it's something that you can walk
Mm-hmm.
in probably an hour and a half. Difficult terrain, maybe 2 hours, something like this. Um, so it doesn't need a whole lot of protection. All of the different emplacement can defend it well from ships arriving, both flying and on the ocean. The
So,
siege
like if we
break.
were to start
Yeah.
walking back closer to the base, would we be having to be like really cautious and or dodging like patrols and stuff, or
Maybe not
would
for the first half an hour, 45 minutes, because you are probably in the section where, um, for pirates, the pirate equivalent of civilian. No one is
yeah,
truly civilian for pirates, but it's sort of their equivalent. So right now it's the laborers and people with no status. So a lot of people, but not a whole lot of vigilance, especially since they're all coming from the docks. But there's probably a point where someone is checking them before they go back to their huts for the night. So right now, no, you can probably walk a good half an hour, 45 minutes with just stealth roll or, um, you know, um, what is it called again? Why can't I recall so many things tonight? Um, Spell that allows you to not be discovered.
pass
Pass
without
without
trace.
trace. Good lord.
Mhm.
Well, I guess that depends on your perspective. It's like a non-magically pass without trace, non-detection magically.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, where you are right now, just one would probably be enough to cover you. Either walk stealthily or just use one spell, and you'd be able to make your way. People are not that vigilant. But once you get closer to the main complex, where there are the bigger buildings and where you guess the more important riches are placed, and the more combat competent people are, now you're going to start having to be either creative or use all of your stealth capabilities.
Hmm.
But
So,
right
but
now,
yeah, I will.
yeah, right now, looking at people walking, you think that if you didn't look like a machine, people might actually just mistake you for new workers from last night. It's not gonna last, but they could.
Hmm. Uh, I'm gonna cast sending to Terry.
Okay.
How are you doing? Are you still safe? Where are you at? Are you able to get back out to somewhere we can pick you up? We're ready to come back in.
Your message ended before the end of that.
Oh well.
I have been focusing on crewmen's. Your effort to sow chaos bore fruit, but now they are screening everyone, paying attention. That's 25 words.
Mhm. All right.
Remy can probably fill in what's missing by, they're screening everyone for people who might be trying to steal stuff and things like this.
Yeah.
You've sown mistrust among the ranks.
Mhm. All right. I will. Cast sending again.
Okay.
I don't know. You guys think we just start heading closer
Prob-
versus? Yeah, I think we should just.
Well, you get nowhere by standing still.
Yeah, let's just start walking.
You saw Fisher just starting to cast send again, and then he hesitated, and he asked you all of this. He asked you this question. You didn't
Let's
spend the
get
spell
close.
slot, but
Sounds like security's a little tighter. Um, so I don't want to be jumping in blind yet. So yeah, let's try and sneak up.
Terranat does tell you that at least if Terry was successful, the captain won't see it because it's been way too long.
Mm-hmm.
So Raimi will make sneaking around easier with a untraceable trace.
So you put up the bond, and then you start moving.
Oh, well, like the bond, when we get close enough, pass without trace.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just making sure that it's available as needed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you start moving forward at a brisk pace, so you don't waste too much of the spell. So you probably arrived in the at the border of what can be considered the village of this island, and the keep. Um, it's not a stone wall; it's more of a wooden palisade. But they're not expecting to be attacked by armies from their village. Um, they have the greater portions of arcane ballistas on their side.
Mm-hmm.
So as you arrive, do you try and convince your way in, or do you go complete stealth and try to just not get seen?
I think with how they're suspicious now, I think we just try and go for complete stealth.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay.
Though, just in case, if Raby is able to catch eye and detail on a generic-looking pirate, it's like he's also going to have him disguise self as that pirate.
Okay.
I will,
You know, you look around and then you see this guy coming out of. You think it's a tavern, and you just go, he's got a peg leg. That's perfect.
I will also do the same.
You look at the guy and you say, he's got a peg leg. It's perfect.
Not the same guy. Different guy.
You both spot him at the same time and you turn in the same guy. Ah, come on. It's like wearing the same shirt.
Okay, well, one of us has got to change.
Okay. All right. So, audience, you're surrounded with a pirate with a peg leg and another one with a eye patch. A real one, not a. It's easier to go on the ship with an eye patch. A real one. You can't help but to smile like this because Fisher took a tall dwarf, so you know that he actually has to walk hunching over to be the right size. I'm kidding. Or he's just a tall human. All right. And you, well, audience, do you have any ways to blend in case the stealth fails?
Disguise self. My disguise self hat.
All right. You put on the hat, so we got a pirate with a peg leg, a pirate with an eye patch, and a pirate with a pirate hat. Perfect combination.
It's like, dude, it's like you're not helping the stereotypes. And like looking at all three of us, okay, you guys are just. What are you? Did you just come out of a party city?
You gotta stop betting, people. It's not helping you. All right. Go in stealthed. Make your stealth roll. See how well you manage to evade everyone. Oh, good lord. It's not going to have to be a huge roll.
Oh no, whatever will I do?
Fisher, do you have to use a luck point?
No.
Okay.
No, I rolled a nat 20.
Oh, good lord. You play your eye patch really well.
Which is like, it's time to lock in.
All right.
With Pass Without Trace, I rolled a 40.
Okay. Audience.
Audience roll a. The pass without a trace, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
24.
It is active.
All right. So, if I'm not mistaken, Fisher, you have 19 because it's a 20?
no, I am proficient in stealth now,
Oh, okay.
which means I have a +5.
Well, 25.
With plus pass without a trace is 35.
35. Wow. So, audience, you're not that into it, I think. You're dragging your feet a little bit. I mean, your role is still superhuman, but compared to Remy and Fisher, it looks like you're dragging your feet. You easily pass through. I mean, I rolled a 2, a 1, and an 18. So the 18 could have been problematic, but you beat it. So, but you gather that as you're crossing the threshold into the main complex and you're hearing people talk, you manage to dodge even their best attempt at finding you. But you hear a few people talking. Last night caused quite a commotion because part of that cargo hold was meant to be sent to the neighboring island. You catch that there is sort of a protection contract between the pirates and the island on which the hunter cult is. The pirates are acting as security and suppliers for food and people to use in their experiments and hunts. And there was a lot of tainted food. So they're not going to be happy. You also hear that there are a few guards which hopes that the captain will figure something out for this, because a lot of people are starting to be scared of what's happening on that island. They're not sure that defense pact is worth the gray hair for some people.
Do they get into any kind of specifics of like what it is that they're like? I think like stories coming out of there about what they're doing over there, or is it just kind of vaguely like they're up to not great stuff? I think this is not a great deal.
You don't get more information than what I said, but judging from how they're talking, you can deduce that it's worse right now than how it was, let's say, a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Something's brewing.
Does it seem like there's like animosity brewing between them, or just that the hunter cult is like starting to do stuff that's kind of worrying them?
Yeah, they're getting worried. Before this pact, the pirates were kind of comfortable. They were confident in their ability to control them if something went bad, but it feels like right now that balance is getting harder to maintain. Feels like the captain has a few cards that helps him keep their superiority, but they're kind of worried that those cards are the only aces in the hole anymore right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's both good and bad. Terranad will point it out to you. The only thing you know that the Hunter Cult is trying to do is fully revive their deity. And that's the worst case scenario. If they fully revive the Avatar, then the next step is trying to bring their deity into the world through the Avatar. which kind of fits the end of the world scenario, to be honest. But the way that they were doing this was by sacrificing people. An avatar can be extremely powerful. So that's what's bubbling in their stomach. And Terranad will pointing out to you, well, this is good and this is both good and bad. This literally means that this island is their line of defense. If you take out the island, if you take out the pirates, if you take out the siege breaker, you will have an opening for at least a few weeks where the hunter cult will be vulnerable. But that also means that they're nearing their plans, which means you're literally on the cusp of having to deal with the enemy getting the first trophy.
Mm-hmm. All right. Do we, as we're going through, do we overhear anything about plans for the siege breaker to go anywhere?
Well, you're going to have to make a decision if you want to have more information like this. You can try and make your way to the most prominent building or the most prominent ship other than the siege breaker, which is most likely where the captain will be. Or you can linger around, take more chance of being discovered, but get more intel about what you just asked.
Uh-huh.
Fisher's Revenge, saving the world. Fisher's Revenge, saving the world.
I mean, I'm thinking it might be best to try and fight him on the siege breaker after it has left, because then there's only the people on the ship to deal with, as opposed to, like, if we try and fight him here, whatever we end up doing, he's going to know we're coming, and there's a lot more people here than there would be on just the siege breaker.
All right, so what do you decide? Do you press forward toward the siege breaker or a more prominent ship, hoping that he might be on either of those? Or do you linger around to get more information?
I think I want to linger around for more information, because if it's not going to leave soon, then there's no point in trying to wait for it to leave.
Okay. Damn, that's stable. I roll the same thing on all 3 dice. Don't worry, it's not natural 20s. All right. So you linger around in the places where there are the most people, where there are the most guards, trying and figure out where those who might know more might be. You're pushing the boundaries of your pass without a trace, I believe. Pass without a trace lasts how long? An hour or 4 hours?
It lasts for an hour.
An hour, yeah. So you're pushing.
I can't think of any spell that lasts for 4 hours.
I don't know.
Yeah, generally it's like an hour and then goes straight to 8.
I'm sure I saw one once, but maybe it wasn't
Maybe
an official
24 hours.
No, maybe.
There are plenty of those.
So you're pushing the boundary of your spell, but you do manage to catch a few bits of information. So concerning what's happening on the island, everyone is preparing. What's happening on the island of the Hunter Cult makes everyone worried. And now that there's been some tainted food, the Hunter Cult's been pretty aggressive at taking slaves. the Avatar has literally fed on people. And you hear a lot of rumors about one of the generals of the Hunter cult having been fed to the Avatar as punishment for having failed the previous time.
Eat a dick.
um,
Only your fleas will mourn you.
so they're pretty scared about what's happening there. The Siegebreaker is not meant to leave this place. It remains in range. Meaning the island of the Hunter cult is most likely just a few miles away. The Siegebreaker does make a few rounds every few days, but it mostly just stays there. The last thing you hear is that the captain almost never goes to the Siegebreaker. He always stays on his personal ship. A few guards joke around by saying that, of course, he wouldn't risk going back to the Siegebreaker after the pasting he got from that dragon. It's way too visible. The barrier generator of the Siegebreaker is still acting a bit wonky.
Do we overhear what ship he is generally on, or where he generally hangs out?
Well, no, but that's element that you can probably complete with your knowledge of him. He's going to have a personal ship, one that looks meaner, one that looks larger, one that would instill fear if you happen to fall upon it in the ocean. It's not meant to be stealthy. It's meant to have that reaction of, oh shit, I just shat my pants on the main deck when you see it.
Looking around, can I see one that...
Make a perception roll. Your angle is not optimal. You can see a few ships, but you can't see all of them.
A 27 with Terranad and 22 otherwise.
All right. Well, it's still... Well, for you, it's a pretty mediocre superhuman roll, but for Terranad, it's okay. So... You don't see it, but you can deduce where it is. Closer to the Siegebreaker, at the back of the island. You will be passing in front of the Siegebreaker if you want to go to it.
All right. I think any word about... I don't think I'd want to stick around any longer to try and learn anything more, but with what we already picked up, anything in reference to the captain or that ship leaving anytime soon?
All right, so it forces you to go beyond the protection of your pass without a trace, meaning that all of you lose 10 points to the stealth that you have if you want to get that information.
I would I wouldn't want to stick around more to try and get that. I was just wondering
Okay.
if we hadn't heard anything, then I wouldn't want to stick around more. I think we push our luck out with this, and
You haven't heard any plans for any ship to leave other than the refueling ships.
okay,
So,
all right, all right. I think we should head. Well, we gotta swing by the Siegebreaker anyway to try and grab Terry, and then
Yeah.
I think it's go time.
and Fisher, you know that your old captain is, well, he's got fish in his pants. He never stays more than 10 days in any armor.
So go pick up Terry.
Well, that's the thing. Can you pick up Terry? You don't know where he is inside the ship.
Mm-hmm.
I assume we can message him and tell him to leave the ship if he's done with his mission.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I will cast sending
Okay.
again. We are heading to the captain. Try and get out so we can meet up. Let me know where.
Terry takes a moment to answer. But eventually, after a good 30 seconds that feels like 10 minutes for you, you hear Terry's voice inside of your head going, "It will be difficult. They are preparing something. If I leave, they might uncover what I did." In other words, he doesn't want to go. You kind of know Terry, you know what he's suggesting, that he stays to make sure that the plan works properly, even though it's more dangerous for him. He doesn't have any spell protecting him. He only has the camouflage that Remy painted on him, and it's been there for 2 days. It's bound to have faded a little bit, at least. Do you want me to play some music?
I will, I guess, cast Bending again. Turn into my spell points here.
You know, right before a fight is the problem. You're not going to need those spell points.
Yeah. Um.
What do you say?
I trust you. Stay safe. Reach out again when we're done.
He answers, "Stay alive. I only have one father." That's it. That's everything he says.
All right, guys. Terry's gonna stay on the siege breaker.
Will he be safe if the catalyst is hit? Is he able to accomplish what he needed to do so the ship won't be destroyed?
He did the best he can, but he's staying on to make sure it works.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I guess we just have to do our part then.
Yep.
Yep.
The only question remaining is, are you going to call Arunak or not? You know, your healer?
Yes, we are. No, wait, but he would predict that we would, so we shouldn't.
He'll never see it. He'll never see it coming.
Actually, knowing our group, he would see it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like of course I calculated that you would forget all about your.
I underestimated you, and you still failed to meet those expectations.
You forgot about your healer. Wow. All right. So, you find a quiet place to call Arunak just before entering the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Roll one final stealth roll to see if you make it to the ship. Do you want to recast Pass Without a Trace?
I think that's probably a good idea.
Okay.
We'll go ahead. It's like I haven't spent that many spell points today.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be a 30 for audience with trees.
Let's go. That is a 33.
Okay.
For
And Remy's higher than that. So the lowest is going to be a 30.
Less impressive than last time, a 37.
Ah, damn.
Okay. For more in range.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least there's good news. You all pass your Mission Impossible rolls. Well, you know, I rolled to see how people would be looking for you, and I rolled something on the dice at 31. Dice can 13. Sorry. So
Wait a second. This is a D20.
Wait a second.
It only lasted half a second in my mind, but I still had that moment of 31. Oh, okay, no, 13. So
Okay, I rolled a 10. Oh wait, hold on. Why is there a 0 on this one?
So, you expertly navigate through these streets. Everyone is slightly nervous, but you manage to avoid the worst. There's this one patrol that for half a second looks in your direction, but they don't keep looking in your direction. They keep going. As you get closer and closer, it feels like there's more happening. It feels like the air itself become more tense. But thanks to rolls that all went above at 30 or above, because of your passive perception, Remy, you notice right at the right moment that there are a variety of little spells protecting the docks leading to the ship of the captain. You perceive that faint little trace on the ground, that would have warned them that you were coming. You expertly manage to tell everyone. You all avoid these little protection. There's something good and something bad from this situation, and you acknowledge both. You manage to avoid everything. It's amazing. You didn't cause a commotion. You won't have to deal with an army trying to get through that door and harassing you while you're trying to kill someone who Fisher has nightmares about. And with everything you saw in his memory, it is going to be a difficult fight. The man is proficient, brutal. But there's also one negative from having been this successful. The moment you leave that room, everyone's gonna start running after you. So you're kind of stuck.
That's what the fireballs are for.
You're kind of stuck. The moment you enter, you can't leave. Otherwise, there's an island that's gonna come after you. But then again, did you ever even consider retreating from this fight, Fisher?
No.
You manage to get into the deck of that ship. It's a little bit bigger, as you would expect. A little bit more ostentatious than the others. But you find yourself moving through the ship with competence, with grace, you could almost say, with a 30 higher than 30 stealth. Yeah, sure, you can even say with grace, not to be confused with fat. Sorry, that's a wordplay.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Alright. Come on, why is it... I keep selecting the wrong one. I'm trying to update the... Why is it... Come on. Ah, here we go. Alright, now it's moving.
I also sometimes select the wrong Tarask.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of Dungeon Tarask. This is the end of Dungeon Tarask. Can't get them confused.
Alright, so... Right. Alright, as you're moving through the ship, you get to the main deck. I'll say, Fisher, you're probably the one that moves in first. Audience, and Remy, and Ognak. It's not the other one that comes out.
Dang.
Dang.
Would have
I
ruined our
was-
stealth, but I would have been okay with that.
It would have been interesting. We'd have
I
had
w-
to definitely improvise the plan.
Yep.
I was considering just giving it to you if you decided to summon him inside of the village where you first appeared, but you never summoned him there, so I didn't have to figure out if I rolled or not. All right, so you get to the upper deck. Because it feels like this is the perfect place where he would be. You almost expected him to be behind you as you went up those stairs, but he's not. He is on the deck behind the wheel of the ship, and you arrive. Formation around him close, and he looks at you, Fisher, from the other side of this place. This time, let's make sure it counts.
Agreed.
Remy, because of your high passive perception, you notice that there is barely a flicker of light in the pendant around his neck.
He's been losing.
But this also means he knows what you're about to do.
We summon giant tree.
Exodia!
Now that leaves
That was one of the options he already went through. That's why he's been losing. You had
It's
to
like,
counter that option.
thank God I left the timeline where you guys summoned the giant tree and completely destroyed my ship.
So, here's the big question for tonight. Obviously, there isn't enough time to make the entire fight tonight. We can have a first round, or we can finish this here, literally begin with initiative next time. Or you can even...
I can go to 11, so 12 minutes. So whatever that.
Well,
I feel like
So
do you
It
want to
sounds
roll
then-
initiative for the next round then? And then we're going to end
Like-
there?
yeah, like rolling initiative. I mean, if nothing else, it also just means maybe the first turn will go more quickly since
Sure.
we
Yeah.
know what order
people will be
we're going.
awake.
I think we should roll initiative, and then we should end, probably,
Yeah.
realistically.
Okay.
10 minutes left.
Oh,
Alright.
before I forget, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it, but in case I didn't, one of Ramey's daily rituals is putting Gift of Alacrity on all three of us.
Which one does that one do again? That's
It adds a D8 to your initiative.
D8 to it. Okay, I will roll that on top.
Okay.
Ooh, that's an 8. That my initiative is now at 26.
Oh yeah,
All right.
that was a 6, which is very helpful because my initiative didn't roll great. So 14 for me.
Okay. Remy.
And Ramey gets a total of 23.
23.
Well, thank God Remy actually doesn't go first for once. Which
I
is
know,
helpful for the
right?
rogue. Which is helpful for the rogue.
Like without that Gift of Alacrity, I might have gone first. It's like fuck me in the ass.
You would have. I would have got a 18.
Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. Because of when you cast it, Orunak's not gonna have it. You cast it in the
Yeah,
morning.
sorry.
Okay. Okay. That's
Hey.
okay. He still rolled a natural 20 on that, so he's got 20.
Okay. I mean, I can't complain about that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
doing all right.
Then again, he's a pirate, so probably high dexterity. Maybe he goes higher than 20 anyway. I don't know.
Okay.
Or maybe he put all his points into charisma.
Probably not. He doesn't. I don't got like huge charisma pirate vibes from this guy.
Well, he is a warlock. The pirate himself
Okay.
is a
Well,
warlock.
then yeah, his charisma's probably
Then
decently
correction.
high.
I guess then fuck you.
All right. Yeah, I usually just do one initiative for all the enemies. I'm not gonna roll an initiative for each one of them because the fight is gonna be unending if I do.
I have to ask.
Yes.
I know he's evil. You said one of them. Right? You said potentially the what was it? The assassin was
priest.
evil, but the priest might not be evil.
So here is
No, the only reason I ask is because specifically my Holy Avenger only works on evil. It only does the extra damage on the evil targets. So
all right. The orange M is the captain, and he is part of a blood cult. So he is.
yeah,
evil.
no, I think my Holy Avenger will work. Not worried about that.
The first mate, however, is just blind loyalty. You don't know; he could be neutral.
He could be neutral. Okay.
The assassin, you do not see the assassin on the battlefield. But if the assassin is on the battlefield, it is an assassin. He is a pirate assassin. So there's a really high chance that it is evil.
It's evil.
The golden M is the priest. It's a Tempest priest. High chance that it's probably neutral as an alignment.
Okay. So I will. I mean, you'll just let me know, I guess, what if I hit them, if I need to add the damage or not.
Well, I get a
Maybe I'll
feeling
divide
that
it.
Fisher is gonna want to jump on the pirate, on the captain. He's gonna want to get him. So
Fisher did not tell me before this he won the 1v1 duel.
okay.
I if I remember correctly, I very specifically said I don't care. He just needs to die.
Yeah, I think he very specifically said he just needs to die. So audience is not gonna like hold back in this case. He's gonna.
All right. Well, in that case, because of what you know of Fisher, here's a few things that you might consider. Whatever happens, you know that the captain and the first mate are going to be close to one another during the fight. So, if you want to both focus on one, there's one of you who's going to get hammered by that guy.
The other, yeah.
The other thing that I'm not sure if you picked up on, but I described it, but maybe it wasn't clear. In one of Fisher's memory, you saw the first mate pulverize the head of a person in a single shot. Meaning his maul is a Vorpal maul. Natural 20 from him kills you like that.
This is why we have silvery barbs.
Correct.
You're muted.
Sorry. In fairness, it's like there's always that weird line between the flavor text of a magical
I know.
item giving you an ability and describing how somebody kills you.
I know. This is why
In general.
I wanted to specify it just before we start. So you wouldn't be surprised, oh, we gotta be careful about natural 20s. Instead of, I can take it, natural 20. There we go. We got one person less.
Does the Vorpal Maul instantly kill you or instantly down you?
It's
'Cause there's a
decapitation.
large difference.
Usually it's a sword,
Okay.
and it's
Okay, so
decapitation.
that's instantly
But in this
killing you.
case, because it's a mall, it's
Pancake.
yeah.
Pancake. All right.
Now
Your head is now in your chest.
Ohunak has the heal spell, meaning he can save one of you during this fight from instant death.
Mm.
But he's only going to be able to do it once, and the enemy already has a priest on their side. So right now you're looking at a fight that may be one-on-one for each one of you. If the assassin is somewhere,
Yep.
you've got 4 enemies
Technically-
and 4 players.
Technically, if the priest isn't evil, though, it can be swayed to our side with the high persuasion roll, potentially, if the fight is going well for us.
Yeah.
Tempest
If the fight is going well for us, I don't think if the fight's going poorly for us.
Well,
Yeah.
I'd say yes, and I would add something to this. It's a Tempest Priest. His alignment is toward the elements. If the storm dies, he may quit. Meaning, if you kill the captain and the first mate, she may simply say, "Alright, guys, you won. I don't need to die for this." But you gotta get to that point without killing her. It's up to you.
Well, my oath doesn't kind of allow me to not, but
Mhm.
You know, and I just want to specify it's sort of weird, but there seems to be someone for each one of you. You got a priest, they have a priest, they got a warrior, we have a mostly warrior. We got a rogue, they got a rogue. I'm just saying. But
Well,
it's your
I mean, I know
story.
what I'm doing on turn 1.
yeah. So realistically, on turn 1, I should probably cast like bless or something, but then that uses my full action. So it's kind of bad.
Well, Arunak has already has Aura of Vitality active
Okay.
because it lasts a little bit, so he's not going to be stuck wasting around for this.
I also need to see. That does that. Okay, I need to also see. That would actually be an interesting one to go off of the writ.
All right. So, with this, we end tonight. We have an initiative order. The enemy is not the first one to go, but they're not the last one to go either. Meaning, Fisher, you got destabilized by this. You're the last one to go.
Yeah, I rolled a 4 on that d20.
All right. So
I could have plucked it, but I feel like I need to save those for.
yeah, a good natural 20 on a Vorpal Mall. It's not a bad moment to use luck
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the pause. That's the end of the episode. All right. So with this, it is today's episode. Next week, we literally begin with the fight. So, hope you will be there. Because it's fun having an audience, killing a major enemy. And it's not going to be an easy fight. So, who knows? Maybe a player will die. Maybe audience will die. That would be awkward. But heck, who knows? So, thank you for stopping by. Hope you found whatever it was you were looking for. Hope you had a pleasant, whatever part of the day it is, wherever you are in the world. If you want to support us, we got Twitch, Twitter, a lot more people are starting to call it X, YouTube, Patreon. You can just spread the word of the channel. All of these option helps. I even got a link below for donation. Only donate if you can afford it. So, yeah, multiple ways to help. And if you want to go back to map making, that's tomorrow, Thursdays, 9:30 for me. And if not, well, next week D&D. Wednesday, Friday, 7:30 for both, but Wednesday, 7:30 West Coast time, and Friday, 7:30 East Coast time. And that's everything I can possibly say. So, thank you for being here. Hope to see you again next week. And as always, stay safe and stay healthy. Good night.
Good night.